What is an array? An array is essentially just a numbered list of elements of the same type. They all have their position, and that's what you call their index. The index is there so the individual elements can be accessed and manipulated. This might sound complicated, but actually it's quite simple. Let's say I want to store the drinks that I like in variables. I could do the following. String drink1 equals coffee. String drink2 equals tea. And string drink3 equals beer. But since they all have the same type and they also fit together logically, they are all drinks, it makes sense to create an array for them just like this. String square brackets drinks equals, and in curly braces go the values coffee, tea and beer. Now, important to note that when you declare an array, you also need to initialize it. There are two ways to do that. Either you initialize it with the values, just like before, or you can specify the length of the array. So instead of this, you can just type string square brackets drinks equals new string, and in square brackets goes the size, in this case 3. And if you want to access one of the elements of the array, you do it by referencing its index. Just remember, computers start counting from 0, not from 1. So the first element on the list is actually at index 0, the second is at index 1, and so on. Now let me show you how to access and modify array entries and also a few useful methods. I have prepared 3 strings, and this time I even managed to spell coffee correctly. So accessing one of the elements is done by referencing its index. If you want to display one of the entries, you type in the print statement the name of the array, my drinks in this case, followed by square brackets and inside the index. And if I run this, I should get coffee. And it worked. If you want to modify one of the elements, it's the same. The name of the array, square brackets, the index, equals, and a new value. In this case, I'm gonna put water. And if I print this out again, now instead of coffee, I got water. If you, for some reason, want to set all the entries to the same value, you can use the fill method. Maybe you need a starter value, or you just don't want to deal with null entries. I initialize my foods array by setting only its size. Since I didn't assign any values, everything is set to null. But I don't want that, so I can call the fill method and set all its elements to a specific value, in this case, not yet set. And if I print all the elements, this is what I get. Not yet set in every position. And this brings me to the next method, the toString method. What this does, it prints out the whole array. So instead of using a for loop, I can just call the method, and that's gonna give me all the elements in the foods array separated by a comma. The next method is the equals method. Now, when you compare two integers, let's say, you can use the double equal sign. But when you compare two arrays, the double equal would only check whether the two arrays are the same, not their content. Like trying to compare two bicycles of the same brand and model. They look exactly the same, but are two separate objects. The same goes for arrays. So if you want to see if their contents are exactly the same, you need to use the compare method, just like this. And if I print this out, I should get true. If I change one letter, they're not the same anymore, I should get false. But even if they are the same, and if I try to print out my drinks equal your drinks, the equals method says they are the same, that's why it's true, but the double equal sign says it's false because they are two separate arrays. They're not the same. The contents are the same, but the array itself are two different arrays. The next method is the sort method, and it does exactly what you'd think. It rearranges the entries of the array. If the array contains numbers, they are sorted in ascending order. If the array contains characters or strings, they are sorted in lexicographical order, which is like alphabetical order, but also applies to numbers and special characters. To demonstrate this, I will sort the my drinks array and print it out to the console. And as you see, the words are in sorted order. Now, here's something important to be aware of. If you sort an array of strings that contains numbers, the sort method will arrange them in lexicographical order, not in numerical order. Let me show you what that means. For this, I have two extra arrays as demonstration. As you see, they both contain the same three numbers, but the first one is an array of integers and the second is of strings. And if I try to sort them, I will get two different results. The first one is sorted in ascending order, the second in lexicographical order. The second to last method is the mismatch method. The mismatch method returns the position of the first element where two arrays don't match. If both arrays have the same content, it returns -1. Otherwise, it returns the first index where they differ. So, if I use it on the my drinks and your drinks arrays, it should return -1 since their contents are exactly the same. And if I alter one of the elements, it should give me the position or index of the element which was modified, in this case 1. And finally, the last method I want to mention is the asList method. Arrays have a fixed size set by the declaration when you created that array. You can't make them smaller or larger, but sometimes you need more flexibility. That's when the asList method comes in handy. So if you need a more flexible way to store your values, you can use it just like this. And what this does, it gives you a list which size can be modified so you can add and remove elements as you wish. And there you have it. I hope this helped you understand what arrays are and how to use them in your applications. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Java content. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover next, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.